Hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining our Facebook Fundamentals webinar today. My name is Mikiko Muraoka, and I'll be hosting this webinar along with Megan Salinas. In today's webinar, we are going to be covering features within the Marin platform that will aid in the efficient management of your Facebook program. The main areas that we will be covering today are the Facebook Campaign Wizard, Image Library, Audience Template, and Bulk Upload tools. These tools are designed specifically to guide you through new campaign creations and to help in efficient and manageable creation of your ads. Please keep in mind that in addition to the features we'll be covering today, Facebook Creatives can be created directly through the Creatives tab of the Marin platform. For further instructions on in-grid setup, please refer to the Facebook certification program that is available to our clients. This certification can be accessed through the Help section of our program. If you navigate to the Help section, on the top navigation bar, there'll be an option to go into our certification programs, and Facebook will be one of those options. So first off, we'll be covering the Facebook Campaign Wizard that's available through the Campaigns tab of our platform. In order to make it easy to create new campaigns and ads for Facebook advertisers, we now have a simple step-by-step interface, which means it's never been quicker or easier to create multiple Facebook campaigns at one time. So if you navigate to the Campaigns tab within the application, you'll notice that there is a small icon with the Facebook logo. If you click on this, you'll see that there is an extra window that pops up. This is the Facebook Campaign Wizard that will lead you step-by-step through the creation process. The first thing that you would want to do when you hit this wizard is to notice that there are 4 different sections that you'll need to fill out. These sections are campaigns, audiences, creatives, and bidding. And you'll notice that those 4 sections are visible on the top of this box. You'll first start with this campaigns section, where the first thing we're going to be doing is filling out the required parameters here. So we'll be selecting a campaign name. So for now, we'll just go ahead and call this a uniforms campaign, and then you'll select the Facebook account that you want to be creating these campaigns in. Next comes the start date and end date for your campaigns. We'll automatically fill out the start date for you for the day that you're creating these campaigns. You can go ahead and adjust that if you'd like, and then just select an end date to this specific campaign. You'll then select the budget per campaign. You can select limit budget per day or a fixed budget for the lifetime of this campaign. Once you have the campaign level settings set, you will hit next and hit the audience section of this wizard. Please note that if there are no audience templates set up, audience templates are something that we will definitely be covering later in this webinar, you will not be able to launch the wizard all the way through. It will default to sending you to the audience template creation page to make sure that you have at least one template that you can reference through this wizard. So once you're in the audience settings screen, you can go ahead and click the audiences that you've already set up to apply to the campaigns you're setting up. You'll also have the option on this right-hand gray box to fill out custom audiences and connections. These can be set up through the Facebook Power Editor and then targeted via Marin's platform. For example, a custom audience would use user lists that are comprised of such things as emails, phone numbers, or Facebook IDs so that you can customize your targeting even more. Once you've selected the audiences, you'll click on over to the creative section, and you'll notice that right now there are two options here, off-site destination and within Facebook. For off-site destinations, these are things like your website, and then within Facebook would be something like your business page. Right now, these are the options that we have available. We will be adding more ad types as we go along with this feature. So as this feature is enhanced upon in our future releases, more and more ad types will be available through this wizard. So please do look out for that in the future. For today's purposes, we're going to be going over the off-site destination setup. But if you do click on the within Facebook, you'll notice that you have sponsored stories, placements, and operating system settings that you can navigate through here. So we'll stick with the website. Placements and operating system, again, can be selected through this page. And then we'll move on to the creative assets. There are a couple of segments that you're going to have to fill in before you can proceed on through this wizard. The first being the URL. A very important point here to make is that if you don't include the HTTP section of the website, you will not be able to add it as a segment of your ad. So just please do make sure that you have either the HTTP or HTTPS filled in when you're using this wizard. If you don't, what you're going to notice is that this plus sign that is in bright blue will be the lighter shade of blue as below, and you will not be able to add it to your combinations. So once you've filled that out, you'll go ahead and fill out the headlines. And you can add several of these, and what we'll be doing using this grid on the right-hand side is making combinations of the segments that you've added in order to create multiple ads. So once you've gone ahead and filled out a couple of these, you'll go to the image upload, and you can upload the image right here, or you can go ahead and pull from the image library that you've already set up within the account. And again, the image library is something that we'll go and cover in the next portion of this webinar. But you select a couple of the images, add that, and you'll now see the grid populated on the right-hand side with headlines, the body, and the images. Once you've done that, you'll click on the Approve Ads, and you'll look to see which ads you actually want to go forward with and which combinations. So you can go ahead and say, okay, well, I've mistyped something in the headline, or this image is not correct, and disapprove the ad from here by clicking the X's. Once the creatives are set, we'll move forward to the bidding section. This section will allow you to set up a couple of things in addition to assigning these to a bidding folder if you choose to. The package creative section on the left-hand side here will default to 4 creatives per campaign. However, this can be altered to your preference. If you did have more than 4 creatives in the previous screen, we'll create campaigns in order to fit the criteria. So since this says 4 per campaign, if there were 8 creatives in the prior screen, 2 campaigns will be created. The next option under that is to create 1 campaign per audience template. When we were in the audience section of this wizard, you had the opportunity to choose multiple target audiences. Right now we have 2 selected. So if we were to select 1 campaign per audience template, 2 campaigns will be created. The next option is to place all of the ads in one campaign. And this is a great option if you're going to be using the campaign level creative rotation. Then all of the ads that we've created in the previous screen get funneled into one campaign, so you'll have a lot of ads within one campaign to rotate through. Once you've selected how you want to break out the campaigns in this page, you do have some bidding options that you can go straight to from this page as well. You'll select the pricing system that you want to use, CPC or CPM. You can adjust the budgets per campaign here. And then you can also select to apply a Marin bidding folder. The default will be off, and if you just save this as is, what will happen is that you'll go and find these in the unassigned folder within the biddings tab, which just means that there's no bidding associated. If you did want to set up bidding, just turn this on, and then you can assign it to a folder straight from this page. So that's really how quickly you can set up multiple campaigns within the interface using this wizard. By doing this, you can create numerous campaigns all in one, so that you're not having to create an ad at a time or a campaign at a time through the grid. You can also choose to use a bulk upload that we'll be discussing later to create ads all at once, but this is a great visual representation of what you'll be doing. So we do encourage you to kind of test out the wizard and see how helpful it will be to your day-to-day creation. A couple of things again to note. Please do remember that this Facebook campaign wizard will not launch if there are no audience templates. It'll just ask you to set up a template first. So now that we've talked through this wizard, there are two tools here that we mentioned as we were using the wizard, one being the image library and the other being an audience template. We'll now be going over those two features and then move on to our bulk sheet. As we go through these features, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them into the questions box that is available through the GoTo interface. Time permitting at the end, we'll be discussing the questions that are raised. And these questions get sent directly to Megan and myself, so we'll just address them as they come in. So please do feel free to type in any questions, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. Moving on to the image library, the way to access, create, and edit these libraries and templates are through the admin section. So right now we're in the campaign section. We'll go on to the right-hand side, top right, and hit admin. This will take us into the admin section of the platform. From here, we'll navigate to templates, which is the rightmost sub-tab within the admin section. And when you click into that, on the left-hand side, there are a couple of different templates that you can choose. First, we'll be going over to the image library. And I'll quickly explain how this tool can be used. The image library can act as a central repository for all of the creative elements for both Facebook and Google image ads. So this tool is designed to eliminate the need to upload images every time you create your Facebook ads, which will save you time. Again, for example, your brand images, or if there is a specific product that you're going to be promoting often, it might be a good idea to have the images loaded so that you can quickly call on them without uploading it. So in order to do so, once you've hit the image library section of the templates, you'll just hit Create, and you'll be able to apply the name and upload the image that you're interested in having in this library. So it's very, very simple. All you have to do is have the image file and then give it a name. And the name is what you'll be using in your audience templates, or sorry, in your wizard or in your bulk sheets to reference the actual image. So that's one way to upload those images. The other is to go ahead and upload many images in bulk. In order to do so, as with every other item that you can create, such as your keywords or your groups, on the left-hand side, there's a bulk add edit images option. If you click into that, you'll notice a very similar page to all of your keyword and group creations and creative creations that you've done in the past. There is an image name and image file option that you can upload. Please just do make sure that you are aligning the image names and the image files in your upload so that they match up when you input them into the application. So for example, if you're going to go ahead and upload these, please do make sure that you're using conventional naming structures. So if you were going to reference in the name what it is, just make sure that the capitalization and if you're using .jpeg, all of that is the same. So you're not trying to call up an image that is named differently within your bulk upload. I'll go ahead and go back to the admin section in the templates. As we just talked about creating, you can also edit these images as well through the same sections. So if in a bulk sheet you did want to rename your files and whatnot, just make sure that you are uploading a different image name and then using the same image, and you can kind of create mix and match through there as well. Another note to make is that if you do want to delete any of these images, say you had a lot of images uploaded, perhaps they were for an older campaign and you no longer need them, you do have the option, again through this interface, to select the images that you either want to delete or edit. So keeping these up to date is very, very easy. So all you have to do is change the images that you are associating with the image names, or select and delete the images out of your library if it's something that you no longer need to use. For the purposes of just keeping the images looking the way you want to, the images that you do upload through the platform will not be resized. So the images will be scaled to give you a preview, but the image itself are stored in their original sizes. So that's something to keep in mind, that when you do upload images into Marin, you just want to make sure that the sizing you have is already correct, as they will not be resized to fit a specific ad type. The other tool that we discussed while going over the campaign wizard was the audience template. The audience template can also be found in admin under the templates subtab. But instead of clicking into image library as we did earlier, we would go into the audiences section here on the left-hand side. You'll see that in this demo account, we already have a number of audience templates set up. But in order to create a new template, you'll just go ahead and come to this page and click on the Create button. Once you've clicked on the Create button, it takes you to the template settings page. This page will cover the segmentations that you can make here where you want to target, say, certain countries, certain gender, and all of your precise interest and topics, and your broad categories are also available to select into this template. Once you've filled this template out and you've given it a name, you would just hit save, and the settings you have here will be inputted into Marin. And the segment name is what you'd be using to reference either in the Facebook wizard, campaign wizard, or in your bulk. So just name it something that is easy for you to recall and might reference what's in this audience template, and you'll be able to use it over and over again in your bulk uploads or the campaign wizard. These templates can also be set up through the group setting page as well if you were in the middle of creating your Facebook creatives within the grid without using the wizard or a bulk sheet, and you had filled this page out and you decided it was something that is reusable. You can definitely set that as a template as well. So all you would do is select Save as a template, and it will be sent to your templates page so that you can recall it. So, even if you hadn't initially thought to create an audience template, if you are setting up your creatives within the application and you decide that it might be something that you'd like to use in the future, you can definitely save it as a template from your settings page as you're creating it as well. So those are the three in-platform features that are going to really help in the efficiency of your ad creations for Facebook. Again, because Facebook, it's important to have so many targets and different ads for your Facebook programs. Marin's platform is working to make it easy for you to create as many ads and campaigns and as quickly as possible within the application. So in addition to the wizard and the audience template and the image library, we do also make a bulk available to our clients. This bulk sheet is very similar to what you see for creating keywords on your search side. It's just been formatted to specifically cover Facebook. And in order to go over the bulk sheet, I will be handing over the presentation over to Megan, who will be able to go over each of the required headers and parameters for you in a bit more detail, as it can get a little bit more complicated since there are some different headers that you might notice.
So the first column is campaign. You can create campaigns implicitly through a bulk sheet by inputting a unique name of a campaign. In addition, you can add new creatives to an existing campaign by specifying the exact name of the campaign as it appears in the app. The next column is called Group. The column header Group corresponds with the Facebook Creatives ad name. The name of an ad is primarily important if you're choosing to utilize creative rotation on the campaign level, as the sequence of the rotation of creatives is determined by the ad name. The next column is Status. Note that this column is optional. If you input a value of pause for a brand new creative, it will be activated after going through a Facebook editorial. So we still recommend creating the campaign in a pause status, so then that way when the Facebook ad does go through editorial, you will be able to control when all of the ads are activated or when they're launched. The next column is Search Bid. So you must input a value, and obviously needs to be higher than 1 cent. The other column is Folder. So if you're using automated bidding on any of your Facebook campaigns, you can specify the name of the folder in this column. Then you have Bid Type. Note that with bulk sheets, your options are CPC or CPM only. And this is because there's only 3 types of ads that can be created with a bulk sheet. And those are an off-site ad, a page-like ad, and a sponsored result. So if you need to use OCPM for any of your ad types, you will not be compatible with the Facebook bulk upload. The huge benefit, though, of using bulk sheets is that all of your creatives will go through the URL builder. That way you can have full conversion tracking if you're sending any clicks to an off-site destination. Okay, the next column is audience. The value of this column corresponds with the exact name of the audience template that Mikiko just walked everyone through. So as you're creating these audience templates, I would make sure just to note what the name of them is, so then that way you can reference them in a bulk sheet instead of having to input all of your targeting options. So I'm not going to go through every single targeting option, but I will just call out some areas where there could be a little bit of room for error. So primarily, when you're targeting a specific state, make sure that you include the full name of the state, so no abbreviations, and also include US after it. So your column H will be countries, United States, and then column I would be states with California, US, as the example on the screen shows. I understand that this may be a lot of information, so that everyone knows, this exact template that we're seeing on the screen is also available in a Zendesk article, and it includes tips on the bottom, so for different sort of, different input values, how you can separate multiple entities. So for example, with countries, if you're going to target multiple countries, you have to use a semicolon, and with other columns, you would have to use a comma. So that's also noted inside of the template. I would encourage everybody who plans on utilizing bulk sheets for Facebook to download that template as well, just so that you have it for reference. Okay, great. So then, the other options in a bulk sheet for targeting include gender, age range, education, college majors, graduation years, language, and likes. The important thing to keep in mind is that if you do not specify a value for a specific column, by default it will target all. So as an example, if you do not input a specific gender, it'll target all, which is actually a higher reach than targeting males and females. For the age range column, keep in mind that Facebook's min and max values are 13 and 64. So if you target any, if you input the value any, it is the same thing as inputting the value 13 to 64. Okay. Under the languages column, I do want to call out that you have to specify the derivation of the language. And what I mean by that is, if you just input English, you may receive an error because inputting just English won't pick up all of the different derivations of that language. So in order to target all English speakers, you would need to input English, open parentheses, US, close parentheses, English UK, English upside, and I believe now there's even an English pirate. So just keep that in mind when you're inputting your different language categories. In addition, for anyone who is dialing in internationally, I just want to note that the values under language needs to be in English. So if I was to target French speakers, I could not put Francois, I have to put French. Next are the columns likes, broad categories, relationships, interested in, workplaces, and connections. So the broad categories, the value under that column is the Facebook defined category. So if you're not too familiar with broad categories or what the exact syntax should be, please either utilize Facebook's resources or you can just search right there from the Zendesk for Facebook broad category targeting, and it'll give you a whole list of the Facebook defined categories, so then that way you can put the exact value in when you're using this. Keep in mind that Facebook currently treats multiple categories with an or relationship, so it would be broad category of beer, wine, spirits, or children's music, or health and well-being. Okay. I also just want to mention that well, actually, let's just keep going to connections. So for those of y'all that are interested in precise likes and or topics, I want to note that you can target a specific topic simply by inputting the hashtag under the value for likes. Okay, great. So the rest of the columns, as you can see, they're primarily targeting columns. The most important ones to keep in mind are the connections, not connections, and friend connections. The values for those columns have to be your Facebook page, event, or application name. Keep in mind that this Facebook page, event, or application must be linked in to Marin in order for you to use it as a targeting value. Finally, you have the columns headline, description line 1, destination URL, related page, and an image. So what's very important to keep in mind here is that if you're creating a page like ad, you do not need to input a value for a headline. By default, it'll be the name of your page. In addition, I want to note that if you're creating a page like ad or a sponsored result, there is not a column for ad type. The way you do so is by inputting the proper targeting values. Specifically, if you need to create a sponsored result via bulk sheet, under targeted entities, under targeted entities, you would input whatever whatever you want your result to search on. In addition, your destination connection would be the name of your page. So you'll see that you have an option for a destination URL, and you can send clicks directly to a Facebook page, like a tab within your Facebook page. So for those of you who maybe have some custom lead forms built out on your Facebook page, all you need to do is just input the destination URL of that tab, and also under destination connection, input the name of the page. So then this way it'll send clicks right to your tab. Also encourage everybody who is creating offsite ads to make sure to leverage this option called related page. The two values are on or off. And what that does is it shows a social endorsement from a related Facebook page or app next to your offsite ad. So I think that it's a great option for marketers to utilize because you get to not only plug your website but also your page name. So this way you're maximizing the value of your clicks. All right. So destination connection, again, this is the name of a page, your Facebook page, event, or application. And this is if you want to send clicks right to Facebook, such as if you're creating a page like ad or sponsored result. Last column you have to input a value for is image. Note that you do not need to reference the image column or utilize the image column if you're creating a page like ad. This is primarily for off-site ads. And the value under the image column, you have two choices. One is the image name exactly as it appears as a file. So if you upload an image along with your bulk sheet and the image name is yoga.jpg, under the column image, you need to specify the value yoga.jpg. Alternatively, I think everyone saw how easy it is to set up an image library and how much time it can save you. So I highly encourage everybody to utilize the image library, and then you can reference the name of an image that already exists in your image library by inputting the value here. So this way, it saves you a lot of time. You won't have to upload an image each time you create an ad. So now that we've walked through some of the more hairier details about bulk sheets, I just want to give a high-level overview of the benefits. So as everybody knows, ad fatigue can be a real challenge with Facebook. And Facebook primarily rewards new creatives. You'll see a little bit of a boost when you first launch a new creative. But for a lot of marketers, a challenge is being able to use a very effective an ad copy or creative that has already been identified as effective. If it's effective and you'd like to utilize it, after a certain amount of time, it will reach 1/3 of its estimated reach, and at which point you'll see the impressions drop. So in order to continue using effective creative that you've already identified as effective, I would recommend in a bulk sheet just making a slight change to an existing creative and then running it as a new one. So as an example, if I know that my first ad copy into mountain biking has the highest conversion rate and I need to create a new ad because of ad fatigue, I can maybe do a slight change, such as putting in space to mountain biking and making that a brand new group within an existing campaign, or making it a brand new creative in a new campaign. So I just think that bulk sheets are very easy for doing find and replaces. Bulk sheets are awesome for creating any sort of off-site ads. And of course, you can always utilize them for page-like ads and sponsored results as well. So with the last 15 minutes of the webinar, we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. Everyone, please feel free to utilize the chat option where you can submit your questions so that way we can take them. Okay, one question from the audience. Someone asked, is it possible to create sponsored stories via bulk sheet? So like a page post like that. At this moment, it is not possible to create any sort of via bulk. The only ad types that you can create is an off-site ad, a sponsored result, and a page-like ad. Okay, I'm going to look for other questions as well. All right. Well, Laura, I'm glad that you can hear everything fine. Thank you again for attending the webinar. And does anyone else have any questions? We will leave it open for about another 2 minutes before concluding. Okay. Another question that just came in was wondering if you can create images in the image library via bulk sheet. So that's a really good question, and the answer to that is yes. In order to create all of your images in the image library via bulk, your column name would be image, and that would be the image name, and then the other one would be like the file name, and that would say yoga.jpg. And this way you can upload all of your images in a zip file along with that bulk sheet, so you can create all of your images in bulk. So you can create your image library in bulk. All right, then. Aside from those 2 other questions, I don't see any other questions coming in. So I just encourage everybody to, 1, if you haven't already, please take the Facebook certification training. It's awesome, it's interactive, and I really think it's one of our strongest trainings that we've come out with. In addition, after this call, if you plan on using bulk sheets, just go to Zendesk and search for Facebook bulk sheet, and you'll be able to download the template that you've seen me referencing during this training. All right, then. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. On behalf of both Makiko and myself, we really appreciate y'all taking the time to learn how to be more effective using Marin's tools.